Not long at all. We had a lot of really positive takeaways from yesterday's game. It's good to have those battles out there. All of our other games have been a little bit more one-sided, so it's nice to have games where you're keeping it close. And they made a lot of great shots, and eventually they made their last one, and that was it. But I think we just had to take what we could from that game and just start fresh today and try to build some more momentum again.
Yeah, we definitely did. I mean, we talked after the game yesterday and thought it was our best game, which is funny because the scoreboard didn't quite show that compared to our first two games. So what we said today was just stay focused and work and build off that momentum. We thought we played a great game yesterday, and we thought we could even be better today. So, and I think we were, and we're going to continue to do that tomorrow.
Oh, we look over there plenty. There's quite a bit of time in between ends. So we'll have to entertain ourselves a little bit and see what's going on the other sheets out on the ice. So yeah, I mean, that's something that we're pretty good at. Just as individual curlers, you can take those peaks sideways, and then when it comes time to throw again for your sheet, just putting the blinders back on for the end itself, and not worrying about the in-between so much.
Yeah, you bet. One game at a time. Tomorrow, I think we play Nova Scotia. So we're just going to focus on that one. And there's so much that can happen out here. Mixed doubles is crazy. There's a million teams here. Anything can happen. So I think just, one game, one end, one shot at a time, and just keep moving forward. It's definitely a marathon, not a sprint. So.
Yeah, I mean, we figured out who had hammer each end, and we were thought we were throwing them really good. Felt really good today. It was coming out of the hand really nice. So yeah, and we communicated well, called the timeout when we needed to, when we weren't on the same page, got on the same page and made the shot. So that was great.
Yeah, I mean, like kind of what you were saying, like what we've been talking, kind of like each kind of post game is, it's about a process and kind of building. And I mean, for us, we have this massive gap between our, 14 months between playing and even stepping on the ice together. So, I mean, having being able to pull out wins and having some obstacles to overcome is definitely going to make us stronger. And today, I think, was a pretty good indication of kind of, we addressed some things, that we've had happen the last first three games. And, we were pretty tight there that game. I thought that was definitely our best game. And, Nancy was throwing it really nice. It was really easy for me to read, like not throwing with her for 14 months. And then seeing the rock come out of her hand for draw shots is a little tricky, just because I mean, she throws it a little differently than probably some of the shots that I've with Jim Cotter. Jim throws a little less rotation. Nancy runs it a little bit more, but throws a beautiful straight rock, and it's just a little different read. So I felt at that game, I was like, Nancy, keep this. I'm like, this feels like 2 years ago. I love how it's coming out of your hand right now. It's really easy for me to read. So it was a really good game for us.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think every curler will tell you they've had games where you can't find it. Where is it? I don't know where it went. But other times it just stays with you and it's in your pocket. And the two times that I've played in the final game of the Nationals, it's felt really good. I just could feel it, just slide and let it go, and it's good. So starting to feel that a little bit now. So it's starting to feel better.
No, I mean, we'll probably we'll probably go and have a really good debrief here with Jimmy. Great to have him as a coach, obviously. Really, keeps it positive, and I've got a lot of experience working with Jimmy, and I think he's been fitting really nicely into our team for our first ever really event, and from a distance as well. But yeah, I mean, we'll just keep debriefing and working on where we can be better. And I mean, I threw 2 draws through the house that game, so I know I can be better. I like the way it was coming out of my hand, but obviously we'll try and just be a little bit better each game and keep building for the next one. So excited for the next one.
You're just kind of dropping this out of thin air, but is Jim coaching you virtually? Because that hadn't been out there so far as I know. So
yeah, he's we have a meeting with him kind of every morning. We've had a really nice schedule. We've been able to play 11:30 the first 4 days, so it's been a nice routine. So kind of sets up our day nicely. So we jump on a call with Jimmy at about 10 after 10 and have about a 15-minute discussion. And he has a nice little routine for us to get us, focusing on the things that we need to before the game. And, Jim Cotter keeps it positive and light and focuses on the very diplomatic answers. So it's a great guy to have with us. And this is our first event working with him. We've had some discussions going into this, but it's a huge benefit having him as our coach.
Yeah, I think
What's
for
up?
us, like we're thinking long term, obviously we have the spot to the trials,
Mhm.
so we have, a little bit longer plan. So we thought bringing them in for this would be helpful, to at least have eyes on us kind of before we go to some other events and then kind of build up to the trials.
Yeah, definitely. I tried to sewer us a little bit there, but we managed to stay tough and win in the last end. And Ryan played great. And it was nice after a full day off to come out and still know what we're doing a little bit out here.
Yeah, there's like it's being in the bubble is it's an entirely new experience because you're actually getting some pretty good reps and having these days off. I think that might have been my 6th or 7th day off total since I've been here. So it's a long day. You fill it with trying to eat somewhat healthy and get some sort of physical exercise. Me and Emma came and watched a draw. Emma came and watched a later draw. So we're trying to keep an eye on the ice, but other than that, it's just putting in time.
Yeah, I mean, in the 7th, when you flash an open takeout, that usually doesn't help the score. So learning the ice, though, it's nice that we were able to still get away with a win despite that, and know to tighten up my imaginary broom now.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel, I think both of us are starting to feel good with draw weight. And once you start getting some confidence in draw weight, it's easier to make those freezes. And it just seems like the more freezes you can hit the center line with somewhere between T line and top 4 weight, you always end up good when it comes closer to the ends of the end. So I feel pretty confident in the way we're playing. Like Emma said, I thought for the most part, we outplayed them. Throughout that game, we made a few mistakes. Both Emma and myself made a few mistakes that kind of cost us from ending the game early, but that's the way it goes. So we're definitely happy with that win and can take it into tonight.
It was a good game. We had to clean up some things from yesterday, and thought we did a good job. Brienne put all her first rocks in great spots and kind of made it a little bit easier on me. Some less difficult shots. So it was nice to get a feel for that.
Yeah, we're just trying to grow every game and pick up on any mistakes that we're making and not make them again. And I think we've been doing a good job at that. Hopefully we'll do an even better job in the next game. It's going to be a tough one, but I like where our game's headed.
I think in the first few games, we were leaving Brienne with, some very difficult shots for multiple points, and we've kind of made it a little bit simpler and opened up the forefoot a little bit sooner. And it's certainly changed the way the end looks, as opposed to everything being either on the button or crowded in the forefoot. We've opened it up a little bit, and it's certainly made a difference. A shot where you got to get a piece of the forefoot is much different than a shot where you got to draw the side of the pin. And the first few games, she was having to draw the side of the pin, and now we're extra points into the forefoot and 8-foot, which is much nicer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first 2 games, the shots were really hard. And I think, like Mark said, we've just been simplifying it a little bit more, giving ourselves a little bit more room to score and not having to be so precise on the last one anymore. And that's been working out. So I think we're going to carry that forward in our next games and keep going.